Now we're moving into the last part of our event today, but maybe everyone should just get up wherever you are. Do 5 squats, like really deep ones. We can go really deep this time. So we get some blood flowing, because now we're going to bring the last topic on of today's event. And I'm really excited to have Irene with us today. She's Deputy Head of Market Infrastructure and Management Division. And she will talk about something super interesting coming up. It's the ECMS and going live very soon now. And Irene will talk us through some operational aspects of that. So welcome, Irene, and over to you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. So thank you very much, Eileen, for the introduction. As you said, I'm Irene or Irene Katsalirou. I mean, I can hear to all variations of my name. And I'm the Deputy Head of Market Infrastructure Management Division, and where we operate the target services. And Sylvain, of course, is in the same division as I am. So we will now focus on another significant milestone in the evolution of Eurosystem's market infrastructure, which, as Ulrich mentioned in his opening remarks, is the last piece of the Eurosystem's 2020 vision puzzle, namely the launch of the Eurosystem Collateral Management System, the so-called ECMS. ECMS is planned to go live on the 16th of June and will replace the current collateral management systems used by the Eurosystem national central banks. If we move to the next slide, you will see that on the 16th of May, the Eurosystem, the ECB Governing Council approved the ECMS go live following positive assessments and extensive testing. And we published on the ECB website also this piece of information. Now it's time for us to prepare ourselves for the ECMS operations. Moving to the next slide, first of all, when will ECMS be available for operations? So ECMS will be operating from Monday to Friday following the Euro target calendar. And I'm saying Euro target calendar because we have differentiated a little bit since the onboarding of the Danish krona on target, and which follows a little bit of a different, let's say, calendar. So we stick to our Euro target calendar because we settle Eurosystem credit operations in ECMS. ECMS will be closed on weekends, of course, and holidays. And you can see here the holidays, the few holidays in the year that it will be closed, and it follows exactly the target holidays, and like New Year's Day or Christmas and Easter. Moving now to what the ECMS operational day will look like. So each ECMS business day will start at 6:45 in the afternoon of the previous calendar day. There are dedicated time windows for processing instructions and conducting system maintenance. The nighttime process, running from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., is reserved for tasks such as updating collateral positions and calculating accruals on outstanding debit and credit operations. During this time, the settlement of open market operations and marginal lending requests by sending corresponding payments to target is also taking place. The system is closed for maintenance during a designated window from midnight, shortly after midnight, so 12:30, until 2:30. The daytime process begins at 7 a.m. and continues until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. This is the period dedicated for processing instructions from counterparties, such as mobilization and demobilization of marketable assets and credit claims, as well as requests for marginal lending. Information from tri-party agents, like reporting on flows, is also processed during this time. Other key activities, including the processing of corporate action events, recording the results of open market operations allotted during the day, and transmitting updated credit lines to CLM, to our Central Liquidity Management in Target, are conducted during the daytime process. The end-of-day process lasts only for 45 minutes between 6 and 6:45 in the afternoon and is used to close the ECMS business day. This involves tasks like sending asset-related information to T2S and tri-party agents and generating, of course, end-of-day reports that are required by the stakeholders. What is important to note is that access to the marginal lending facility is extended by 15 minutes on the last day of the reserve maintenance period. So all the days, let's say the opening ECMS days, we are following this calendar, which I just described, with the exception of the last day of the reserve maintenance period, where we extend by 15 minutes. And it is exactly what is happening also in T2. In contingency situations, of course, cutoff times may be adjusted or extended as needed, and we will have to see on a case-by-case basis. Moving now to the operational structure of ECMS operations, the new system will not alter existing business and legal relationships between counterparties and national central banks. Counterparties, central securities depositories, so the CSDs, and tri-party agents will continue to contact their usual contacts at the relevant national central bank for matters related to monetary policy, intraday credit, and collateral management. So, in other words, we keep the principle of decentralization as it is now. Each Eurosystem national central bank retains full responsibility for business relationships with participants and operates what we call a national service desk to assist in meeting its obligations. In line with this, its Eurosystem national central bank defines its national support level for its community during normal and incident scenarios. The National Service Desk also serves as a single point of contact for community participants and is addressing queries, servicing requests, and handling incidents. During normal operating hours, all National Service Desks shall remain accessible and provide support to their communities from 7 o'clock in the morning, when we start with the ECMS operations for the daytime, until 6:15 in the afternoon. And this is what will be done across all Euro area countries. Moving now to incident management. It's important to address how we handle situations when things don't go as we have planned. An incident, which we defined as an unplanned interaction or a reduction in the quality of an agreed service, can disrupt, of course, standard operations. These incidents can be identified immediately or may become apparent later if they do not have such a big disruption, for example. Our incident management process is crucial in such scenarios and ensures that services are restored as quickly as possible, minimizing any adverse impact on business operations. It is designed to manage the life cycle of incidents by promptly identifying and resolving them while keeping all national central banks and participants informed on the status. And I have to say that we have spent quite a lot of time on identifying together the ECB, together with the 4CB and all national central banks, these scenarios and finding out how to resolve each of them. If we move to the next slide, the ECMS incident management encompasses several key activities to ensure minimal disruption and quick recovery. These activities include, first of all, the detection of the ongoing issue. Identifying the problem as soon as it occurs is crucial. It's important to note that incidents can also be detected by ECMS participants, not only by the national central banks or the ECB or the 4CB. Therefore, participants should promptly contact their respective NCB, which serves as a single point of contact for reporting such issues. Once the incident is detected, efforts are made at Eurosystem level to resolve it or implement a temporary workaround to mitigate its impact. Business continuity as failover, for example, to the secondary side can also be activated. This is the same business continuity measure we have for T2 and T2S. In certain situations, contingency measures such as acting on behalf of affected parties may also apply. These structured activities, as I said, within the incident management process are designed to restore services promptly. And during this incident management life cycle, the ECMS communities will be kept informed. Moving now to the next slide. What I would like to say is that effective communication is key, especially during incidents, and we need to ensure that all stakeholders are kept informed of the system's operational status. As of Friday, the 13th of June, when we will start our migration activities, ECMS, as part of target services, will have an operational status box on the ECB website, which you can see also on this slide. This will serve as a centralized source where up-to-date information about the system's status is provided. One can also search for communications we have published in the past by clicking on the See Historical Information link. So we keep all historical communications. So in case we have updated the status of ECMS with another message, you can go and you can see what we had communicated, let's say, in the previous hours or in the previous days. Importantly, the information we will be sharing on the ECB website is collectively agreed upon by all national central banks. So it's not the ECB is providing this communication to the public, but it is a communication we have agreed at Eurosystem level. What also I can say is that anyone can subscribe to receive email alerts about changes in the real-time operational status of target services. And this feature ensures that all interested parties are promptly informed of any updates. Moving to the next slide. While the standard message on the ECB website would be hopefully that ECMS is operating normally, specific communication is envisaged in the event of an incident. In this case, the ECMS operational status box will be updated as quickly as possible with brief and factual information about the system's status. If an incident affects ECMS participant but is resolved shortly after its detection, as I mentioned before, this information may be communicated retrospectively via the ECB's website, but also from the NCBs. Additionally, NCBs may share with their communities further communication with more detailed information if they deem it appropriate. And shifting now our focus to the next slide, where we have a few words about the operational related tests. So as you know, they have been conducted with communities as an integral part of the ECMS project. We had planned 26 operational related tests to ensure that, let's say, important operational processes that we have designed work properly and with all parties that should be involved in each of them. So as far as I remember, we have conducted 25 out of the 26, and we are shortly going to conduct the next one, the last one, and we will be over and ready for the go live. But looking ahead, operational related tests will be scheduled after the ECMS go live. And this is a standard practice that we follow for all target services. We have specific scenarios and we conduct these tests in order to ensure that even if we have not used some specific procedures, that all parties are able to conduct them. Guidance on participation in these tests and the specific tasks involved will be provided at national level by its NCBs. And moving to my last slide, to summarize, let's highlight again the main takeaways from today's discussion. By maintaining the principle of decentralization for the use of the system, we ensure that the relationships between national central banks and their communities do not change and remain strong. Any identified incident should be promptly reported to the respective national central bank to ensure swift resolution and minimal disruption. Lastly, stay informed about the ECMS status through the ECB website and your respective national central bank. With the green light from the Governing Council, the countdown, as we say, has officially started. We are now focused on finalizing preparations to ensure a seamless migration, as operations are set to start at 7 o'clock on Monday morning on the 16th of June. It is crucial that we are all prepared diligently for this significant milestone. And let's continue to work together to ensure everything is in place for a smooth start. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Irene. Super. So we're already 16th of June coming super fast. I have some participants here even moving beyond that and asking about general release, like releases of the system. But I think here we can just say that ECMS, like the other target services, will follow the normal target service release planning procedure on that. There's a few questions coming in, but maybe, Irene, I'll give you just 1 minute to breathe. And then, Karen, I will just bring you in, just keep everyone on their toes here, you know, as jumping a bit on the topic. So,
thanks, Irene.
Karen back in, and 2 questions for you, Karen. On tips, we're back on tips now, and on the cross currency, and we have people asking about non-EEA currencies in tips. Do you want to say a few words on that, please?
I will. Thanks, Irene. No, the question, as I understand it, was, is TIPS open for operating IP, so instant payments for non-EEA currencies? And here, a very clear answer: the geographical scope for the TIPS platform is only EEA, and that's per Governing Council mandate. So that is for the TIPS platform itself, EEA only. However, for interlinking and platform-to-platform type of cross-currency transactions, here, of course, we go beyond, and there the non-EEA can also. We spoke about Nexus today. We spoke about India and other countries being potentially in the pipeline. So their non-EEA could also interact, but from their own platform, not from TIPS. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. And a little bit related to that, so now we already moved away from Europe and then out with the interlinking, and there was another question on the interlinking question again. And of course, that's more so the different solutions and the different connection. How will all these interact? I think the question is basically, when we go outside of Europe, how are we looking at the interlinking aspects? They're connecting, interacting with other systems.
Yeah, from technical, I'll say a few words about that. Thanks, Irene. Now, from technical point of view, we are trying to stay very harmonized with this technical solution. That means that the solution isn't going to be very different from one to the other. We are, as I mentioned, based on the EPC OCT scheme features, and we are using the enhanced transaction model. And based on that, we will be doing the cross-currency on TIPS, those transactions, but we'll use in essence the same type of messages and for harmonization purposes, of course, also for the platform-to-platform communication and interlinking. So we're trying to stay harmonized. We're trying to make it easy to participate, and that would be my answer there for that. Now, I want to clarify something as well, Eileen, that might have been hidden behind this question. It's also very important for interlinking. Now, I spoke about Nexus, I spoke about India and our exploration in that area, just to say that in case we decide to go forward with those cross-currency platform to platform, that it is a decision then of the Euro system and the Euro corridor to go forward, and it's independent from the other corridors that are available on TIP. So it could be even, each Denmark, Danish krona, and also Swedish krona, those corridors, those central banks, they need to make, the same type of exploration, the same type of decision if they would like to use those corridors. I'm just putting that forward. Maybe it wasn't very clear before. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much for this. So I will let Karen go. Karen can relax for now. And I want to bring Irene back because we have a few questions for you as well, Irene. So there was a few about the econs and what happens in case of fallbacks and your incident. You discussed incidents a little bit. And can you say a little bit more on what would happen if ECMS had an incident?
Yes, of course. So the one question was if there is a fallback system process for ECMS like econs, which started when T2 production fails. So my response is like ECMS does not have a fallback system similar to econs 2, but has a contingency arrangement and to ensure that the system is recovered in case of a major failure in a timely manner. So we have the same, let's say, setup like the 2 hours of downtime in case of a major failure. And we could even go to the secondary site, as I mentioned, and we will try our best for operations to restart as soon as possible. There was also another question on econs, a little bit different. What about the ECMS operation during a T2 unexpected incident? So if T2 is unavailable and there is activation of econs 2. So ECMS is a collateral management system, and the interaction with T2 is to inject liquidity. So this is what we have envisaged to do also if T2 is down. So there is a specific contingency feature in ECMS, and we need to activate it once econs 2 has been activated. And then we inject the liquidity to econs 2 instead of T2. So there is a communication between ECMS and econs 2, as there is a communication between ECMS and T2. So that's how we are going to manage this, let's say, event, and hopefully a rare event. Yeah.
Super. Thank you, Irene. Maybe the last question, I think there was a little bit of confusion about what happens between 1800 and 1845. I don't know if you have that in your mind now, or if we can bring that back, the slide on the operational day in ECMS. And the question is basically, what happens in that time slot? There we are. Yeah. Can you say a few words about that?
Yes, of course. So between that time, so when the system is has closed and is about to restart, we will be having the statements of holdings, transaction and pending transactions foreseen to be, transactions and pending transactions foreseen to be sent shortly after 6:15. So we will have this, let's say, end of day processes. So this is what is going to be happening.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Irene.